Hey YouTube! So first of all, I want to apologize as I didn't post a video on Monday. This video really became my priority over the last week and I didn't want to half-ass a video just for the sake of putting one up. And if you watched last week's video, then you probably have a good idea where this one's going. If you haven't seen last week's video, a bit of a recap. So I went back to work a couple weeks ago. But almost immediately I was triggered and the trauma came to the surface and I have not been dealing with it well. My therapist's recommendation, and therefore my challenge to myself, is to go to the gym every day after work, the days I do work, and see if that helps me cope with the negative feelings and emotions I'm having instead of coming home and falling back into old habits, which will ultimately take me right back to square one. Quite honestly, I just don't know how the hell to deal with the stress and the negative feelings that I come home with after work. And I previously dealt with them in really unhealthy, negative ways. And if I don't find other ways of coping, then I'm at very real risk of regressing back into those unhealthy habits. So for the last week, I have been challenged to go to the gym every day after work to kind of redirect that emotional energy, which will hopefully prevent me from regressing and keep me on the right track with my mental, emotional, and physical health. My therapist specifically recommended the gym because it's already a regular part of my routine anyway, whereas another way of coping isn't. And healthy coping methods, be it meditation, mindfulness, breathing exercises, for example, they're very much learned skills, and that's what got me to this point in the first place. I never learned appropriate coping skills to deal with stressful, painful, or upsetting situations, and I instead developed other ways of coping that just weren't healthy and in some cases were harmful to my mental health and making a bad situation worse. So while this wasn't really a new coping method because I go to the gym all the time, it was a new way of coping with feelings that I didn't know how to handle in a healthy or productive way. So how did it go? See for yourself. Okay, so I went to the gym tonight, day one of my challenge, and it didn't go so well. I worked until 7 tonight, so I didn't get to the gym until like 7:15, and I was just hyper aware of the time, knowing it would take me at least an hour to finish my workout, so I'm not gonna get home until 8:30, and I still need to walk my dog and make dinner and eat and still find time to relax and decompress before bed. But I have to be in bed by a reasonable time because I have to work in the morning. I'm usually eating dinner by 6:30, so everything's pushed back by at least 2 hours, and I didn't even go in the pool. If I had swam a couple laps like I usually do, that would tack on like another 30 minutes, so I wouldn't be getting home till 9. So now I'm compromising my workout, and yeah, I'm having a little bit of a meltdown tonight, to say the least. So I don't know, I can't really say that going to the gym helped and that I am not basically in the same position that I was trying to avoid by going to the gym in the first place. So yeah, I don't know. Good morning. So it's 9 a.m. Saturday morning, and I think I got about 4 hours of sleep last night, and I have to be at work in an hour. So yeah, I had a bit of a meltdown last night because I was feeling like either my time and responsibilities are going to suffer or my workout is going to suffer. And neither one of those are things I want to compromise because both are important to my mental health. But then I kind of realized that I usually only go to the gym 4 days a week anyway, 2 days on, 1 day off, and so forth. And the point of this challenge isn't to go to the gym after work each day indefinitely, but to go for the next week so that I can kind of start to redirect the feelings that are building up during the day at work that are leaving me feeling triggered and in a bad headspace by the time I get home, which is leaving me vulnerable to falling back into old habits and really winding back up at square one. So if I can redirect those feelings into the gym, even for a week, and avoid the things that I'm trying to avoid to cope with those feelings, that might be enough for me to not associate work or coming home from work with destructive coping methods. It doesn't have to be the gym, it just has to be another way of coping with the feelings that my job is triggering. So, like I said, I usually only go to the gym 4 days a week anyway, so I realized I can still go the 3 or 4 days a week that I'm off And if it's a week where I'm only off 3 days because I work a Saturday, then I can go after work on Saturday when I don't work as late and when my parents can stop by to walk the dog during the day. So it still sucks that I have to do this again a few more times over the next week, but if I can manage to get my dog out for a walk before work and meal prep the night before, which I usually do anyway, I just of course hadn't done it for last night, go figure, that should ease some of the time anxiety that I felt so that I can get something out of this, whatever it is I meant to get out of this. So we'll see. It was only day one. But like I said, I work today, and even though I'm exhausted, the plan is to hit the gym after work and hope for a better outcome than last night. So it's Saturday and I just finished work and it's pouring out, but I'm not going to the gym. It's so hot in my house and my AC croaked last night. I barely slept as it was, and the dog was up like 3 or 4 times to get water and go outside. So I just don't have it in me tonight. Even though it's been a long day at work, I got screamed at by some guy because I didn't know who called him 2 days ago from another office, made worse by the fact that I'm obviously exhausted. I think I'll be okay tonight. I've got housework to do when I get home, and I'm honestly just looking forward to relaxing with a poutine and a documentary. So I think that's my coping strategy tonight. But like I said, it doesn't have to be the gym. It just needs to be something that distracts me from overwhelming feelings, or in this case is more important or appealing to me than other things. So yeah, no gym for me. So it's just after 8 and I just left the gym. If you can't tell by my huffing and puffing, I finished work at 7 and today was a complete shit show. So there was no question I was going to head straight to the gym. I needed to blow off some damn steam. But I'm not nearly as anxious as I was on Friday because I managed to get the dog out for a walk this morning before work, and I did some meal prep last night. So all I really need to do is just reheat it and dinner's ready. The good thing is I don't feel any urges to cope with today's stress or any feelings in any negative or harmful way. Like I said, my adrenaline was through the roof when I finished work, and had I not hit the gym, I might feel differently. But yeah, I managed to blow off some steam and work off some frustration from work. So the plan is just to go home, let the dog out, reheat dinner, and spend the rest of the night relaxing. So yeah, that's it for tonight, and I'll see you on Wednesday. So it's Wednesday and I just finished work about 10 minutes ago. I had been toying with whether or not to go to the gym all day. Work-wise, today wasn't super stressful. It was a bit triggering here and there, but it was quiet and overall pretty stress and incident-free. Thing is, Wednesday nights are super crazy at my gym. I drove by just to check it out, and yeah, it's packed. So I know if I go, I am putting myself in a stressful situation because I'm going to be stressed waiting for machines that are in use or trying to get a machine before someone else does, and I'm going to be stressed if I have to cut my workout short because of that. And I don't want to intentionally put myself into a situation where I'll be stressed. Plus, I went to the gym the last 2 days and I don't want to tax my body either. But I do want to make sure that I have a plan B in place for when I get home. So I'm going to take the dog for a walk. Little bugger did not want to get up this morning, so he didn't get to go for a walk before work. Eat dinner and then do some of my DBT workbook. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good night. So obviously things started off a bit rough. The first night, I just didn't plan well. I hadn't walked my dog before work or meal prep the night before, both of which I usually do. And instead of focusing on and enjoying my workout, I spent my gym time worrying about the time, feeling like I had 1,000,001 things to do when I got home, which just made me more stressed and more anxious. So it kind of defeated the entire purpose of going to the gym in the first place because it made me feel what I was trying to avoid. Now you'll notice I didn't go to the gym every night that I worked. And even though that might seem like I blew it, I actually think the opposite is true. For one, even though I had previously said that I didn't feel like the gym or exercise was a good coping method for me, I learned that it is, depending on what I'm using it to cope with. If I have a crap day at work and my adrenaline feels like it's through the roof, exercise is a good way of dealing with that. I found that it really did help. But when I wasn't as triggered from work, so did self-care or walking my dog. Point is, I learned that there are other ways of dealing with my work stress and coping that don't involve inadvertently starving myself or result in a hangover the next morning. And I am going to keep this up because I really did get something out of this. Knowing that the gym really was a good outlet, I'm going to make sure that I always have my gym bag in the car so that it's always an option for me to go there straight after work if need be. But if I don't go to the gym, I'm going to make sure that I have a plan or another coping method in place for when I get home. So, all in all, I would have to say that I found this challenge to be a success. So I'm really sorry that I haven't been consistent with uploading lately, but like I said, I have been trying to get used to going back to work and working my schedule around it. But it's finally sinking in and I'm getting used to it, so hopefully I'm back on track. Now next week I will be trying a new coping method, but you'll have to tune in on Monday to find out what that is. And make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you liked this video, please give me a like and a share and leave a comment below to say, hey, ask me any questions or leave suggestions for future videos. Thanks for watching this video and I will see you in my next one. Bye.